This is a review for Transformers masterpiece, Delta Magnus. Now, I bet you don't know who this guy is. I didn't either. Keyword being didn't. Until I did some research. So I'm going to spit out that research for your pleasure. That's something weird. Anyway, this character was from the toy series called Diaclone from Japan. The series were basically about robots that were piloted by little men. And this design was called Power Convoy, which was the upgraded version of Convoy, which later becomes Optimus Prime. That mold was redecoed to become Ultra Magnus. It was again redecoed, which is pretty Inception, to become Delta Magnus. In the IDW comics, he was a primal vanguard leader. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing he was a very high class character to say. And then Takara Tomy released their own Delta Magnus figure, which is basically the first using of the word Delta Magnus. Let's move away from the research and look at the toy itself. The toy is very blocky.
Yeah.
Like, very, very blocky. He just looks like a cube, kind of.
Yeah, he's a fun chunk meister. I mean, this guy is like, when you think, I want a beefy, chunky robot, like, this is it. And the fun part about it, because, I mean, it feels just like, obviously, Ultra Magnus, but, like, with that color scheme being different, he really does have his own. It doesn't feel like Ultra Magnus. It feels like he's his own guy. It makes sense that they'd have multiple characters that are similar builds. I mean, think of all the different, like Tiger Tracks over there, another Diaclone character that didn't really get that much
He was
play.
a repaint of Sideswipe.
Yep. Like, that's a tradition that they have with it. But this character is fun. It's the first one we've gotten, first Ultra Magnus we got as Masterpiece in this mold.
And this guy is impressive. Like, really, really impressive. Like, this guy is just like a brick of a leader. He makes that sound. All that plastic. Just. There's also with the plastic, it's somewhat creamy. It's weird in a pleasing way. But I do have a problem. There's almost too much plastic. Obviously, there's die casting feet, but I would love to see some die cast maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere more in the legs, like here. It's a little bit hollow. Maybe somewhere in the arms. Like, this is so much beef. It deserves some die cast. Oh, actually, this arm gets some die cast with the Autobot symbol, which kind of makes no sense.
I think it looks quite sharp.
It does, but it doesn't make that much sense. So the head sculpt is obviously nice because this is just ripped from the regular Ultra Magnus head sculpt. But apparently it's like different because there's actual eyes to it instead of the like the blue visors. Also, speaking of faces, there's one little face right here that looks a bit. There's a little Optimus Prime in there, or just a little Prime in there, and it's like, help me, help me. I don't even know.
It does looks like a classic homage here, top. Let's see the So you can really see it here.
regular.
Yeah, like the old,
G1.
the G1 head that kind of had that stilted face, but it does become a funny puppet marionette when you wiggle it back and forth. It's like he's talking. Yeah.
It's weird.
But you
this
also get
this feature is actually used for is that you need to take off this and take off the face right there.
Yeah, so they got extra faces. It comes with
It
4 faces total.
4 faces total, which
So
I'm pretty sure is more than the normal face. And there's a yellow eye screaming face,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
and a normal blue visor, and a normal blue visor face.
Yeah, looking very stern.
And a screaming blue visored face
You really want to make sure you're able to scream.
to replicate that famous scene from Transformers the movie. But I actually don't have the parts to make him actually replicate the scene, so I'm guessing this is just his shocked face, like his shocked face, like, oh, you've been dating someone else? Yes, I'm sorry, Melissa. I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I did there. This back.
But one of the fun things of these characters, these Diaclone ones, they kind of give you a freedom. They don't really have. They're kind of blank slates. They're not. They don't have a backstory. You can make whatever character you want with them. They're just kind of like fun guys that look like they fit in this world, but
They don't really have a personality,
Yeah,
unless you do your research.
That's true.
With my research, this guy has insanely good eyesight and is friends with that cassette tiger.
Stripes.
And this guy is actually a girl that is a political, a lawyer.
Revolutionary, yeah.
A lawyer.
Politician.
And when you do his research, he turns out, or just look at the back of the box, he's a Cybertronian Vanguard leader. I don't know what a Vanguard is, but it sounds very
Minded?
high-minded.
So Vanguard means on the front edge. He was like on the front lines. And leader would be, obviously, leads. So, he's on the front lines of Cybertron. So, but it gives you a blank slate. And you can tell whatever story you want with this guy.
I guess.
And so there's something fun and unique. Along with the different faces, he comes with a big old gun.
And just a big
Nice,
gun and a
beefy.
a very small Nissa Fairborn, which is an obscure Transformers human character.
Yeah, and she fits nice snugly in her good compartment. She has a sleep chamber that could kind of hold the Matrix of Leadership, but because he doesn't come with one, I figure it's just a sleep pod for her. So we like to take and just go ahead and plug her right on in there.
Who cares about oxygen? I mean, just put it in there. Who cares about oxygen?
There she is. Oh, just wonderfully snuggled in his chest. It does kind of fit in there pretty good.
I guess. Final thoughts? This figure's alright. It's not bad, but it definitely has some of its problems. The lack of diecast still annoys me, and sometimes it could be a little bit hollow. But overall, this figure is good. It's not bad. But it's not perfect, always. Any figure's not perfect. I mean, Tiger Tracks figure that I have is a little bit hollow. But he's still a nice figure. Speaking of these figures, these are some other Diaclone repaints. This is for Tiger Tracks. This is for Road Rage, which I recently learned is a girl.
Which is a Tracks repaint. But it's also a really cool figure. And these blank slates let your imagination kind of take you wherever you want.
Yeah, so this figure is good. It's not bad, but it's definitely not perfect. It's a pretty good figure.
Nice behemoth.
Hey Delta, will you please end this review with a rollout?
Stop laughing! Finish your homework! You're laughing too much!